Paul, Gang of Brothers, just a lightly tried 4-year-old with 5 runs under his belt. He's placed in his last few efforts. How have you assessed those runs?
Yeah, I think the runs were pretty good. He sort of got carted back once or twice and could have finished a little bit closer, but comes up with a plum draw. The only reservation I have is the 1200 metres might be starting to become a little bit too short for him, but off the inside gate, it's a big help.
You put the blinkers on him last start. Did they have the desired effect?
I think so. He travelled a little bit better in the race, and so he didn't have the best of runs, but finished off nicely.
How's his work been since his last run? Does he take much ticking over?
Yeah, his work's been fine. He doesn't take a lot of work, and he's just gone through the motions.
Where would you sort of like to see him end up in the run? Sort of maybe on paper, sort of suggest midfield maybe?
Yeah, probably 3 back the fence. I don't know if he's got the speed to trail, but we'll be having some sort of a crack at it.
17 winners this season so far, 7 of them since the beginning of April, so you've fired up nicely.
Yeah, it's fair to say it's a pretty slow start, but they're racing well of late, and long may it continue.
Karis, Scotch TYCOON, you ride this horse again, 1-2 back. He placed 6th last start. Did he have a little excuse in the running with a wide passage last start?
Yeah, last time it was a run to be forgotten, and I just thought from where we were, we had not much luck. He did not enjoy being there, so he's a better horse than that, so looking forward now.
Barrier 9 this week again. Does that make it potentially tricky to slot in and get some cover again maybe?
Actually, when he won with me, he was well drawn, but he was a bit fair back of in the field. So I think from that gate, the best thing is to do with him is to just leave him alone and let him slip. He's a better horse than that, and then I think he will give us his best in a straight.
You galloped him on Monday morning on the all-weather. How did he feel?
He's a horse that's always going to improve physically and mentally, so he's definitely improved a lot since the last time I've sat on him. So, like I said, he's a very nice horse. Just looking forward to riding him now.
That sort of leads me to my next question. He's come from a rating of 52 up to 68, middle of Class 3. Has he sort of found his mark yet, just being a 3-year-old, or is there further improvement to come?
Yeah, that's the thing. He's only a young horse. He's 3 years old, and I think there's a lot of improvements still to come. What he's done already has been great, but I think even next season he'll be a better horse.
Alexis, California Sky, he's gradually improving. He ran 3rd beat in the neck last start, so when you had a spin around on him, were you happy enough with how he ran at Happy Valley last start?
Yeah, very much. As you mentioned, he's been improving, and seems like he handled very well Happy Valley. He's got a nice gate speed and allow him to cruise in front, and he just got beat on the line. But I believe if he improves after this run, he will be very competitive.
Is that where he sort of does his best racing up on the pace? Do you believe?
I suppose he's got natural speed, so this is very helpful to find a good position in Happy Valley, and he was strong through the line, so I'm very confident he's going to run well.
There's some alternate speed in the race. Is that a concern because one of those horses is drawn to the inside of you?
Yes, correct. I had a bit of speed underneath, so I have to probably see and try to find the right spot for the horse. But with a bit of luck and a smooth run, I believe it's going to be right there.
He had a recent barrier trial at Teetan back on the 6th of May. He didn't lead. How did he perform that morning at the trials?
He ran very well. Actually, he jumped well, but there was a bit of speed in the trials, so I didn't feel the need to put him under pressure. And I was very happy to take a seat and move him out in the straight, and he was running well.
David, lucky with you lining up at Happy Valley for the first time. How satisfying was it to see him bounce back, beating a pretty handy field at Teetan last start?
Yeah, I thought he beat a good horse, and it was a really good win, and he seems to have trained on well, so I'm hoping for a good run.
He's won twice earlier in the season over the 1200 metres, and you sort of stretch him out to 14 and 1600 metres for the 4-year-old series. Do you think 1200 is his best trip, or will he stretch out further?
Oh, he'll run. He ran 2nd to the Derby winner at 1400 at his attempt, and then he was ridden a little bit upside down in the big classic mile. If you ride him quietly for the first 400, I think he'll run a mile, but we'll try that next season. But I know he runs a good 1200. There'll be plenty of speed, and he'll be hopefully the horse joining in late.
He's strolled at Happy Valley in the past, going back to April of last year. Is it important to give a horse a trip to the valley so they sort of get an initiation of the place?
Look, I don't think it hurts, and we gave him a quiet trial that day, but he handled it very well, so I don't think the valley will be any problem to him.
He's ended up in barrier 2. Do you sort of see him box seating for this race potentially?
He might be box seat, might be one back from box seat, but he won't be too far away, and with that barrier he should get a good run.
It's basically his second season here in Hong Kong, but his first sort of full season. He's a 4-year-old. Do you think he's got Class 1 ability, this horse?
Yeah, I do. I think next season he'll get there. Look, he's been racing now for probably, he started his racing about a year ago, so I think he's just going to get more season for next year.